What if I was to tell you that according to Google, it takes the average human around 10,000 hours to master a skill? And what if I was also to tell you that Google is wrong, and I'm about to prove it by mastering 7 skills in just 7 days, starting now. Now for this first skill that I want to learn is how to throw a card, but I want to be able to throw it so good that it becomes a weapon of mass destruction, just like Rick Smith. So the goal is to throw the card into this apple. Shouldn't be too hard. The first problem was that I had no accuracy. I was missing the apple 9 times out of 10. But whenever I did hit the apple, I was focusing so much on accuracy that I forgot to throw it hard enough to actually make it stick. It was almost like a catch-22. Therefore, what I started doing was throwing it as hard as I could every single time, hoping that it hit the apple. I threw it over 200 times as hard as I could. Every time, my throws were getting weaker and weaker. My arm was killing me, but I kept going. I started hitting the apple, but it was bouncing off every time. I was getting nowhere and I was exhausted, so I decided to throw in the towel and work on another skill. For this other skill, I wanted to learn something hard. I wanted to push my limits. I wanted to do a backflip, but with a twist. No, literally, I wanted to do a cork, which was just a backflip with a twist. So I started practicing on trampoline, and I sucked. Therefore, I kept practicing. And then I landed it. It wasn't much, but then a few tries later I landed it again. And again. And again. Before I knew it, I was landing it consistently. I think it's about time that I attempted on ground. Therefore, I warmed up with a back tuck, then a gainer. It was about time to attempt the cork. I stepped back and I was about to do it. But there was only one problem. I was scared. I'd never attempted anything like this on ground before. I was already worn out from all the build up to this point, so I decided to call it quits. I still wanted to throw a card into an apple, so I set everything back up. I was prepared to stay there all night. I was not going to leave until I annihilated this apple. I started getting flashbacks of last time, all the pain that went through my arm, but I didn't let it get to me. I just kept throwing. Then, this happened.
No way! Let's go!
I had done it, the first skill. It wasn't my big goal, but it gave me a boost. It gave me hope that I might actually be able to achieve this. I wanted to learn how to twirl a pencil, just like how that guy on YouTube does it. So I watched a video on how to do it, then I started practicing. I sucked at first, dropping it every time. Then I slowly started getting better and better. But then I hit a wall. I was doing it, it just didn't look anything like the guy on the video. He was doing it much faster. It looked like his pen was a lot heavier than mine. I counted this one as a skill because I was doing it, it just didn't look as cool as him. The next skill I wanted to learn is how to open a butterfly knife, just like how they do in movies. I quickly realized that they could literally open it in a more efficient way. I practiced for about 15 minutes, trying to get faster and faster every time, but I quickly ran into a problem. You see, the knife was made of metal, and if I wanted to do the trick, my hand had to be hit over and over again, but I kept persisting. Then I think I got it. It looked fairly close to what they do in movies, and I was proud of it. The next skill that I want to learn is how to solve a Rubik's Cube, but that's too easy. So instead of just solving it, I'm going to solve it in less than 25 seconds, which is nearly impossible because my solves average around 40 seconds. So if I wanted to do this, it wasn't going to be easy. My solves were averaging around 35 seconds, which was better than usual, so I kept practicing. Then this happened. I had done it. Solving the Rubik's Cube in less than 25 seconds was one of the hardest skills on this list, and I had just accomplished it. I always wanted to learn how to juggle. I had always known how to juggle with 2 balls, but I had never tried it with 3. It always looked so easy, but when I tried it for the first time, I sucked. So I tried again, and again, and again. I got to the point to where I was able to juggle it once, but I wanted to get more than that, so I kept practicing. I realized on my 3rd throw I was moving forward, and that is what caused me to fail. I stopped doing that, and I still couldn't juggle. But I remembered a guy juggling on a video I'd watched. I remembered how he was watching upward, so out of curiosity I did that. It was the one thing I was doing wrong. Instead of looking forward, I had to be looking upward. I tried it a few more times and I was getting pretty consistent. Now for the 6th skill, I wanted to learn something that I could actually use in real life. I wanted to learn how to cook, like a pro. But I only have one problem. I suck at cooking. Like the best thing I had ever made was chicken nuggets. Therefore, I brought my brother to teach me how to cook.
No, put the bread down. We don't need the bread yet. Don't put your bread on the plate thing yet. Take a chunk of butter out of the thing. Now, put it in the pan.
Oh, in the pan. Okay.
Yeah. Get your bread, put it in the pan. Now you're gonna take some cheese. Now take your other slice of bread
Okay.
and put butter on that slice of bread. Just spread an even layer of butter. Now put that piece of bread on top of the other piece of bread, butter side up. Now you're gonna get a spatula.
Whoa, dude.
It's done.
Oh, I did it. I did it, people. Look at my map. Now it is time to face my fear and overcome the cork. I started warming up to do it. I was about to do it, but then fear overcame. The flip wasn't even that hard. I sat in the same spot for over 2 hours, trying to build up enough courage to do it. The only thing I could do at this point was work on getting more height on my gainer, and do it on trampoline over and over, till I built up enough confidence to send it on ground. I worked on it for the rest of day 7, and it exhausted me. Then my week was up, and I had only learned 6 new skills. I was really hoping to get that last skill. But then I realized something. I realized that the more times that I failed at something, the better I got. I was going through this challenge all wrong. I was trying not to fail. But failure is just a part of the process to success. People who are the best at something have failed the most times. But do you know what is not a failure? Hitting that subscribe button, because I spent a very long time on this video and I'd really appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed. Bye!